Morning. So starting the day off a little different. Dad has about 150, 200 acres of planting left, but there's no fertilizer on it, so he's gonna go spread. I'm gonna go plant some beans, and Brother's gonna clean up some of that ground we tiled. When we were tiling it, we also cleaned out some ditches, tore out some trees. So him and his crew are gonna go pick up sticks. So Dad needs a little bit more than one fill up, so we're just gonna take the tender up there for him. He's gonna spread and then plant. So BJ just chauffeured me around, got the tender moved. I'm headed to the field. Hopefully this thing holds together. It's running pretty good yesterday. Pretty good. Man, my windows are dirty though. Wow. Anybody else keep an opener blade in their cab? So this is the field that we chisel plowed. We've worked it several times. I'd really love to try a land roller. I know talking to some friends out west, they speak very highly of them. That's just not a thing around here. I don't know anyone in our area running one, but I think that would have been the ticket in this field because when we chisel plowed it, it's very rough now. Lots of, I mean, it's just rough. Like, we're going to be planting this one about 5.5 mile an hour, and that's probably going to be it. I did adjust my road cleaners up. I went right in here to this screen and hit them. No, not really. I don't have the fancy ones like Dad, so I had to go out there and pin them manually. But as loose as this dirt is, I don't want them digging in like they're not doing anything. Not really needed. We are getting along pretty good. 57 acres and it ain't even lunchtime yet. Not bad. So this is the last big field we got. And then after this, we're beginning our field hopping campaign, which will take approximately 2 to 3 days. Side note, we get much more dust on that fender. We could get beans to depth there. Maybe grow like a second crop right there. It's a little dusty, especially this field. Not really running that fast just because, like I say, it's a little rough. All right, so we're back to the tiling site today with the Turbo Max and my little buddy Mason and my wife Rachel and Dad's Roxor. And what we're going to do is go around the edge of the fields and pick up stray pieces of tile from when we were working over here. There's some water bottles, stuff like that got discarded and not properly thrown away. There's some sticks and some limbs down that we're going to pick up and move to the side. That way we can run the Turbo Max through it and hopefully smooth this place down enough that we can plant it and not rattle our teeth out. How do I look? This little culvert might have had some water in it still. You can't move it? Oh, you have big muscle. You didn't take your hump pills this morning. It would appear that we were out of seed. Figured we had to be getting close. Luckily, we almost planned, well, you can't even see through the dirty windows. The truck's right there. Alright, back in the cab we go. Well, looky there. Oh, there's a whole lot of lunch.
It's for both of us.
Oh, you riding? Hi, Olivia! What you got there?
Hang on, let me sit first.
No, this is her seat. You sit on the floor. You guys want to keep riding or let me take you back to the car? Because we are done. Yeah, probably. I'll do that an hour later. You're just obsessed with me, aren't you?
No. Yeah, I need that. Yeah, I need that there too.
Got lots of dishes. So while Kayla's here, she's gonna help me move my seed tender, because like I said, we are done on this farm. Gonna move to some patches, so while I got some help, we're gonna move. Got a coffee refill while we were at it. Can't beat that. Just looking out over our handiwork here. It's all planted down there. But we got more to do, so we need to head out.
Working in some tile line, and this is actually my first passes with the Turbo Max across it. When I got back from eating, there's a couple fields to join this one that wanted to get into before it got dark, and then you know, finish up the day over here. So that's kind of what we did, and just really getting going. Let me turn around here and I'll show you guys what it's looking like so far. There's what it's looking like so far. And there's a little bit of a hump in spots. There's a little bit of a trench in spots. So I don't know. I might go over this again at an angle and just going real slow and trying to keep things fairly level and keep the baskets from bouncing. The line that I'm running right now, a lot of dust. I'll tell you what, if we had to put this tile in here this winter, this field probably wouldn't be this dusty right now because the field right next to it's fairly wet.
Okay, so we're in the last field of this farm, and then we're moving again. I had two 20-acre fields side by side, so not bad running. But then we got a road trip. Well, we got a road unit dragging up, so guess we better go out and see what's going on. We don't have any new openers. So that's a new blade. I put that one on like one of the first days of planting, so already plugged up. That's awesome. See, it's just caked full of mud and dirt in here, so apparently we found some wet dirt somewhere. Alright, we're finished here. Last, well, it's like 50 feet. It's my daughter's first tournament game in softball, so we'll go watch that and then I'll be back here in a couple hours. Now we are down to about 200, maybe 150 acres of beans and like 70 acres of corn. We're getting there. And of course, it will not fold. Why would I want to be on time? I guess I just have to have Kayla come pick me up. Awesome. Awesome. Now really, these last few days, this has been my main problem. I haven't really had a whole lot of other issues. An occasional drag up, but that's been it. But this is really getting old. It always happens at the wrong time. You never want it to happen, but I am tired of bleeding hydraulic fluid out of this planter every time I want to fold it up.
What's that sign say?
It says not for whoopings again.
Not for whooping.
Not for whoopings?
Hey, Daddy wants to.
What are you doing?
Telling you the signs.
Oh, okay. Explaining the safety signs?
And,
Okay.
and the Mason is riding a tractor.
Mason can ride a tractor.
And we're back. One first tournament game. Oh my goodness. Let's see if this thing will fold up now. And it worked. Thing's about as dependable as a, well, as a Ford, I guess. So as you can see, our roads are pretty narrow. So that's new. There's a spring right there. We may have fairly droughty soils, but we have a lot of springs in the ground, so every now and then one will pop up like that. That one's never been there before. So we got enough room to empty that seed tender, so I'm just going to go ahead and put it in there, and then we'll be done filling up for the night, and then we'll be out of seed tonight. So this is the only field we'll be able to do. We're out of seed at the house, so I'm gonna have to go to the Pioneer dealer first thing in the morning, pick up some seed. He's just a couple miles down the road. Need to call him and schedule that, but Yeah, we're almost done with seed planting, so that's a good thing. Okay, tender's empty. Planter's loaded. Got about 55, 60 acres of seed maybe, and we'll be that much closer to the end. So I've talked a lot about things that drive me nuts on this planter. Let's talk about some of the things I actually like about the planter, because I do like the planter most of the time. So things that I like the openers when they work. I don't like that we have issues with them, but the style of opener. What I mean by that, they have the leading edge opener. This blade is ahead of this one. I like that. In my experience, that gets into the ground better than the V openers like Dad's on the John Deere planter. I like the gauge wheel arms better. Dad's bolt on. These ones are pinned on with shims. In my experience, those stay put better. You can lose bolts. As long as you have a good bend on your pins, you're not going to lose one of those. Has precision electric meters. I like that. It has downforce on your closing system. Precision makes a system like that, pretty similar to this actually, and it costs a bunch of money. This comes with it from the factory. I like that. I like, believe it or not, how you adjust your vacuums and everything. Basically, you just turn your hydraulic flow up to supply all your pretty high, and then you adjust your vacuums from the Pro 700. I like that. Whereas with Dad's, you're constantly adjusting your hydraulic flow. With that, you just push a button on the monitor. It's one of the few things the Pro 700 does well. So those are things that I actually like about this setup. And those are the things that drove us to get this planter. Really, the main issues we have with this planter are it not folding when I want it to, and those openers. It's really the only thing that really drives me, other than the Pro 700, and yeah, that's just part of it, I guess. But I figured we'd discuss some of the good points. Believe it's time. So miracles never cease. That thing hasn't made a peep in the last 50 acres. I kind of think we should just plant all night if it's going to be quiet. I mean, this is fun. I don't feel right though. I feel like I should be putting these in my ears to drown out the noise.
Hey, we're still turbo tilling. Got the work lights on. It's dark. To be honest, I haven't been out after dark a whole lot this year, and it's here we are.
Up the grade. I bet Dad doesn't pull this hill very fast with the corn planter next year. That's something that would probably surprise most folks. High-speed planters, they take some horsepower. You're not going to pull a 24-row corn planter with 350 horse very fast, unless you're very flat and very dry.
Alright, so 10 o'clock, and we're done over here. So time to move home. Put my seatbelt on. Safety first.
Alright, that's the last map, that's the last pass for this field and for the night. So we have about 200 acres of beans. Some of those fields are very wet. We'll probably wait till the day before it rains to plant those. So with that in mind, I'm not going to stay out here all night. I am going to bed. It is 10 o'clock, so I'm going to go sleep a little early. Before we do that, we're going to wash the windows. Look at there, windows are clean. Almost forgot the back window. And the side. Now we can see. I just need one over there. Well guys, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to thumbs up the video on the way out, and we'll see you in the next one. Aww.